Now a former Buckeye back home. It's Carlos Hyde. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Second down following the run. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Trent Taylor, the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. They do go for it. It's Garoppolo. And it is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Dalton here from the gun. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Giovanni Bernard from 17 yards out. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. And his kick is good. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Switching things over, San Francisco taking over on offense here in just a second. And you I discussed earlier when Jimmy Garoppolo became the starter, what a turnaround it was for San Fran at the end of the year. 1-10 in the first 11 weeks, 5-0 after that. Some momentum to take into the offseason.
And beat some teams that are acknowledged as good teams in the league, including the NFC West champion Los Angeles Rams down the stretch. So that was a big deal for them. Highest scoring offense in the NFL last 4 weeks of the season. But I loved last year's draft because they got good play from those guys. Solomon Thomas in the first round. Reuben Foster in the first round, the linebacker. Trent Taylor, wide receiver. And Akello Witherspoon, cornerback. Some building blocks as they move forward.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go now.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here we go now. And the wideout in motion. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Deep ball for Goodwin. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, 64 yards. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. On the return, it's Alex Erickson. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Charles, we got a second here to discuss Cincinnati as their offense works their way back out there. Marvin Lewis, many thought on the way out, but now a 2-year extension, and it's 2 straight years without them being in the playoffs after 5 straight in the playoffs. Were you surprised that Marvin Lewis was given the extension?
I actually was, because he was at the end of his contract, and I thought that that was a natural endpoint for he and the Bengals, especially since, as you framed it, back-to-back years without the playoffs, back-to-back years of 7 and 9. But getting the 2-year extension tells me they're ready to rebuild. Retool this team. They've got to get better in the offensive line. They've got to get better skill position players. The defense is going to undergo some more construction now. Got a new defensive coordinator coming in. So the coaching staff, players, a rebuild in Cincinnati. And they think Marvin Lewis is the guy to guide them.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On the toss, Mixon. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Now they run with Mixon. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers,
and he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. DeForest Buckner able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
And the pursuit that time was absolutely top-notch. He was looking to try and turn upfield somewhere. Kept trying to find a place. Somewhere never showed up.
And Bullock will put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. To the right side, complete to Taylor. A big play there for the Niners. 42 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo, the starter here, finally lured away from the Patriots. What are some things you like about JG?
Well, I love his makeup, meaning obviously he's got some physical ability. He can throw the football, but he's mentally tough as well. And he developed while he was there in New England. They actually trained him to be a starter even though he wasn't getting any type of snaps. And this guy adapts and thrives with the ability to play against pressure.
10 more there and another first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he'll give it here to his running back. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. To throw is Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will knot us up at 10. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. But before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Take Carradine in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he's got the hook up to Brandon LaFell. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Ross. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Slot man moves right. 3rd and 2 for Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
And the slot man goes in motion left.
Patriot!
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 4th down, out comes Bradley Pinion to punt this one away. Alex Erickson deep for Cincinnati. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down. Now Mixon, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Again, it's Mixon. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
midfield. Here's Garoppolo. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's brought down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Trent Taylor there, and it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And that will be incomplete as well.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So they don't get a touchdown here on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You've got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in strike.
And this is caught at the 20. A big play there for the Bengals. 57 yards.
Defending a deep route, even when it's thrown on time, is very difficult. But when he's able to maneuver outside of the pocket, that's almost unfair. He's bought extra time. His offensive line has protected him. And now when the ball's in the air, the guy downfield has a chance to make a better adjustment. That's just wrong on every level as far as the defender is concerned. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Take Carradine. Able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down around the 37. They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another 1st down with that run.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Garoppolo to throw on second down. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. A very solid gain of 27. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll run it now out of the gun. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop him here. So
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Carlos Dunlap in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? And they'll send the slot in motion left. The slot man in motion right. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And he's going to go down again. Carlos Dunlap getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So a big kick coming for Robbie Gould. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They go play action here on 1st down. And Green with a catch left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the D-line's going to spread out. Mixon. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
And they will line up now for the two-point try.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go!
They'll try and run it in with Hyde. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for two is snuffed out. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. 1st and 10 for Dalton. Going deep downfield for Ross. The swing pass caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. 59 yards. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. And this is back to a 5-point game. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. That he's into the clear. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. 62 yards. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Take Carradine in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Got a man. It's Ross, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And it'll give the Bengals a first down. And it'll be Dalton again. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. A first down throw coming for Dalton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Reuben Foster picks it. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And to give this time to the tailback. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Niners on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's got a first down past the 30. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. And the slot man goes in motion left. Garoppolo looking to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And the defense loses him. It's complete. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield.